This is the Draft Guys podcast with Peyton and Niko coming at you live with the Baltimore Ravens three-round mock draft. And the first thing we're going to do, we're going to look at their free agency. Pete, on thoughts?
Yeah, the headline is obvious this season with the whole Max Crosby trade fiasco and then replacing that with Trey Hendrickson. And I like it a lot. I've always said that this is the right move. If you can offer me Trey Hendrickson and two first round picks or Max Crosby, I'm taking Trey Hendrickson. And so I love the move. I think there's whether or not it was, legal, I don't know. I don't know the specifics behind it. I will say the glaring on this team just got more glaring on the interior of that offensive line with the departures in this free agency. And so the thing not listed is that they lost some pretty important players. But I do like the additions they made this offseason.
I agree with you. That's what we're going to look for in this mock draft at the pick number 14 that they have as their first round pick. And we'll look here as we go through the mock and we'll see what the Ravens can truly get at that 14th overall pick.
Oof.
First thing that stands out to me is that Mansour Delane, Ruben Bain are on the board. We know Ravens love they usually have the best guy fall to them at their pick, which is usually later than this. We're going to see really if there is that interior offensive alignment. So there's not. Yeah, so they're
Mm-mm.
not going to have their guy. So it's looking to be either Mansour Delane or Ruben Bain. Do you have a preference?
I do. Ruben Bain is, a top 8 player in the draft for me, so I think he's very good. I will say, Maui Noah and Olavide Owane not being here is tough. That is not a good draw. I think even if Bain and Delane were on the board, if Owane was there, I think they would still take him. They have that desperate of a need on the interior, that I think that would still be the pick. You're not going to complain about taking Ruben Bain here, though. I think he's the pick. I know they have needs at corner, but there is also a need at edge rusher, and I think that he would be the pick here.
Is there a world where they go receiver? I don't like Makai Lemon, but I know you do. Is there a world where you can see them taking Makai Lemon at 14?
Not Lemon. I think if I would tell you if Bain wasn't here and Tate was, then I would consider taking Tate because I think he's worthy of implementing that offense, but I don't think Lemon is.
Fair enough. We'll move on with Ruben Bain falling to 14. It's possible. I mean, we've seen crazier things at the draft. We'll move to the number 45th overall pick, which is their second round pick. And yeah, we're really needing to impact that interior offensive line. Let's see if we can do that. Caleb Banks is on the board. Very tempting. I would have taken him in the first round.
Yeah.
I see that smile on Pete Dunne's face. I think I know what that means. Emmanuel Pregnon is here at 45. That's that interior offensive guard that you would be looking for. We got the edge out of the way. Pete Dunne, what are you thinking?
You know what I'm thinking? He's my favorite player in the class. I mean, he's the fourth, is he third or four on my big board? He is fourth on my big board. I think he's the fourth best player in the class. The film is unbelievable. I understand there's foot concerns. That's not our job to figure that out, and that's why he's here at 45. If there was no foot concerns, he would have been gone by 10 for sure. The film is that good. Absolutely take Caleb Banks here. I'm tempted by Pregnon. You don't pass up a player like this if you have the opportunity to draft him. You absolutely take him, especially because they do have a needed defensive tackle. They need more bodies in that room. And so I agree with what you said. I would have taken him at 14. Like I would have been willing to do that. So the fact that he's here is a home run.
And the nose tackle position is open, which that's where we know he can be a beast. Ruben Bain and Caleb Banks with the Ravens' first two picks. How do they do it every year?
This
We'll move
draft.
on to their 30 or to their third round pick, and we'll see what they have here at number 80. Okay, so big thing here. Obviously, you still need that interior offensive line. How do you address it? Ooh, okay. Billy Scrout is on the board.
Yeah,
It's one of your
yeah,
guys.
yeah.
I don't see a valuable center. Is there maybe a tackle we can move to guard? I don't think so. Max Clare is on the board. That could be
Yeah.
tempting. I don't see any wide receivers worthy.
Mm.
Don't really have a running back two anymore. So that could be interesting. Um, some other positions, Kyle Lewis stands out, Malik Muhammad stands out, but I don't think those are needs. Malachi Lawrence could be a really good fit
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
Peter, is there a player that you're really looking at?
Yeah, there's a lot. This board, I mean, for three picks in a row, it's fallen really good for the Ravens. I think Muhammad stands out, Claire stands out, Lawrence obviously stands out. A lot of these guys, I think Max Claire being behind Mark Andrews, I think he can play in the slot. I think he's a good enough route runner. And then Andrews is getting older. He's not going to be around for that much longer. Will take over as your tight end one, and I think he's going to be a really, really good tight end one. So I think there's a lot of really good options here. I like Billy Strauss. I think that they cannot go three rounds without getting someone on that interior. The value down the board will simply not be good enough anywhere near what Billy Strauss can do for you right now. So I think that has to be the pick just out of necessity because they need a guard, and he's a really good one. I have him as a top 60 player in the class. So I think he's really good. I think that's the pick here.
That's definitely the pick. Very tempting, obviously, to go with Max Clare, but at the same time, you need that interior offensive guard. We'll pick him here, and that will
Oh
end
my
the Ravens
God.
3 round mock draft. What a haul. As
Oh.
always, they find a way. Pete, on quick thoughts.
I mean, this would be one of the best drafts I've ever seen if this ended up happening. These are two top eight players for me that you got in the first and second round. Is simply incredible. Um, I like Billy Strauss a lot. I think that there's some Ravens fans that might not be super deep into the draft cycle and might not have, heard about Billy Strauss yet. This is a guy that might not make it to 80 on draft day. If you get him at this value, it's a win. He's a very talented guard who is handles power really well. I can get in the scouting report. Just know he's a really good player. So you're getting yourself a good guard, and then you might have automatically the scariest defensive line in the NFL, automatically just with those two guys.
Ravens front office finding a way to prevail once again. We thank you guys so much for tuning in.